nothing even in here about that. It's very misleading. There's nothing like that. It's just people doing poses in leotards and stuff. Oh, I thought it said yogurt for you. It is a beautiful magic morning out there. Welcome friends of magic. Welcome to my show. My name's Dean. It's a wonderful magic morning. And I welcome you all into my world of legerdemain. Cheers from Paper Magic. I wonder what they taste like this week. I wonder how magical they taste this week. Shall we taste? I'm getting a lovely aluminiumness, a lovely Morrissey Dove Pan aluminiumness with a little bit of a slight hint of tart and egg bag. You may have noticed that earlier on I was reading that book there, Yoga for You. It's not my book, it's my wife's book. She's into yoga, I'm into Star Wars. She loves yoga, I love Star Wars. That's the deal, isn't it? I like Star Wars, she likes yoga. But then she said, you like Star Wars a bit too much. What? You like Star Wars more than you like me? I said, I don't like Star Wars more than I like you. I like Star Wars, I'm into it. I'm not obsessed with it, right? I like it. I'm not obsessed with it. I've got Star Wars, you've got Yoda. Yoga.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
What have we got this week? We've got this, Memo or Memo by Skymember, invented by Sultan Orazali. There it is, in wonderful packaging. Is it though? Is it wonderful packaging? Well, I only bring this up because in the video they can't stop talking about how wonderful the packaging is. And to me it's a bit waxing lyrical about your own packaging. I don't know whether, do you need to do that? Isn't that for us to decide? Isn't it for us to decide if that's artistically beautiful packaging? Anyway, it's a small point. What's inside? Inside is a gimmicked card, ladies and gentlemen, a gimmicked card. Now there are basically, in my book anyway, there are basically three kinds of gimmick card, aren't there, really, when it boils down to it. There's elastic flappy gimmick cards, there's slidey widey gimmick cards, and there's printy rinty gimmick cards, right? There's the printy rinty are printed, they're like double backers and double faces, and the trick that I reviewed some time back, what was it called again? That's how much I liked it. Just forget. Chucked it out probably. The torn and restored thing, RIP. And then there's slidey widey ones like Michael Chatelaine and all that, and then there's Flappy Wappy, isn't there? And they're all friends of Chicky Licky. Yeah, so this is an elastic Flappy Wappy. This one, it's got, without giving too much away, it's got a little bit of Flappy Wappy on it. It's got a little bit of elasticy, right? And what happens in Memo? It's very simple to explain this. What happens is you hold a card with the face toward the back. I always get that wrong. It's so easy. It's rudimentary. It's like left and right and back and front. I always get them wrong. You're showing the back of the card to the audience, and on it is a little sticker, a memo sticker, or as we call them in most parts of the world, post-it notes. We call them that in Australia. I don't know whether they call them that in the US. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's my show. Post-it note stuck on there. And you give it a shake and the post-it note changes instantly to something else. Usually, in the way they present it, an origami folded shape. And it's quite an interesting idea. It's a post-it note, you shake it, it magically transforms into a origami butterfly or an origami crab or some sort of flower or something. And it looks great on video with a soundtrack over it with editing. What does it look like in reality? What does it sound like in reality? Well, let's have a little look. And I've done this, I've tried to gauge about where most of your close-up spectators would be in a strolling, walk-around, street-style environment. And you can tell me what you think. Have a little bit of a watch, and I'll be right back. So here's the card with the post-it note on. It's not really a post-it note, it's a bit of paper cut up, but that's what they tell you to do. And it's actually on there with blue tack. They don't tell you to do that. That's what I did because stick glue and double side tape will just ruin the card, I reckon. Another point I didn't like about the instructional DVD tutorial. Now, most of the time, the post-it note turns into a little origami shape. In this instance, it's going to tear down the middle, and that's one of the routines they show you on the DVD. So here we go. I'm going to tear the paper with my mind. And look at that. There's a tear right down the paper, and I did that with my mind. So there we go, that's it. That's it done like in as close as to real time as you get, okay? So if you've got like an Instagram channel or a YouTube channel and you're doing that kind of thing, and you can put music over the video, this will probably look great. But in any other situation, I just don't think it really works that well. It's difficult to handle, it's quite knacky. The paper gets caught sometimes in the gimmick. It makes a sound. And it just doesn't really function the way, it doesn't look as beautiful in reality as it does on the videos. It doesn't feel as beautiful to present. So I'm finding it really difficult to get enthusiastic about this. Yes, I like the way it looks on some videos, but that's not enough, is it? That doesn't help us. That doesn't help you when you're spending money on things. Unless, of course, you're using it for your Instagram or your YouTube or your stuff. Even your online shows, your Zoom shows, you've still got to do that in real time. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you pre-film stuff. Up to you. Everyone else did it. All the TV magicians pre-recorded. You might as well. What's the difference? It's just TV, isn't it? There are no rules. So what else can I say about Mimo? Well, you know, the instructional video, they go on about how great the packaging is. One guy comes on and he starts talking about the gimmick and how you can use it and how you don't really use post-it notes, just use bits of collage paper cut up, so you're not even really using post-it notes, using collage paper, cut it out into the shape of post-it notes with scissors. Don't use the actual sticky bit of a collage of a post-it note, use glue stick to stick it on. And then another guy comes on and he starts talking about the psychology of writing a signature on the back of the card so people know it's the same card. And then he brings out a little whiteboard and gives you an... My mind was like this again. And I just got confused. The tutorial's all over the place. And some of the ways they get into it are ridiculous. Like they have a card signed and they stick a dummy post-it note over and then he laps it for this gimmick. Or he says, oh, but put a clip in your back pocket and clip it on. And then there's this big thing hanging off a bulldog clip on his back pocket with this one little card flap. And then he goes, and if you're in a pub, stick it on the wall. What? Stick it on the wall of a pub? It just really confused me. The whole thing confused me. And at the end of it, I just didn't care. I didn't care. I made it up, I played with it a few times and it didn't work a lot of times for me. And so I find it very hard to get enthusiastic about this. Anyway, onwards and upwards. That's the show for this week. Hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you next time on Magic Mornings. See ya! Brassy. Dynamic coins.